It's another video from Ozzy's Robot. Brought to you by the Banana Collection.
All right, everyone, welcome back to my rapid fire video creation day. Since I'm trying to load up some content for when I will be away. And as always, thank you for joining me. Get comfortable, especially if it's morning where you're at. And as always, we start off with kick back in your lazy boy chair, your giant Barco lounger, your bench, your stool, your revolving chair. Grab your steaming cup of coffee, stir it, and clank it, adjust the taste. Maybe it's tea, maybe it's the lunch hour and you're grabbing a Coke and a hot dog, or it's dinner time and you have some kind of a mixed steak and chicken fajita that they're bringing that steaming plate. You know, when you order fajitas and the plate is sizzling, then they bring you the tortillas on the side and all that accoutrement. And you always wonder, why did I get the guacamole? I don't like guacamole and all that other crap. The diced tomatoes. Well, that's me. I like it without all the diced tomatoes and the guac. But, you know, I know a lot of people like guac. Although there are some places that make really good guac. They make it on the spot. And, you know, fresh, which is delicious if they know what they're doing. But anyway, with that out of the way, thanks for joining me on another rare, fantastic toy. Today I bring you, I guess this is baby Oghon Bat before he became a full-size Oghon Bat. Now, this was unveiled in my live stream, as were some other toys. And, you know, I would say if you watch my live stream, but I've been so inconsistent with them that, you know, I can't get a really good schedule. Maybe I'm going to guess, well, for now, probably never, but maybe in late September or mid-September. Once I'm back from Barcelona and Lisbon, maybe I can try to do a little more consistent live streaming. But until then, you have these videos. So Oghon Bat, as I've mentioned numerous times, is a superhero in Japan. It was actually one of like the early superheroes that maybe predates Superman. It could technically be the first superhero, the modern style superhero. It was done during the days where they had, in Japan, they had those like theater cards that they would show you, almost like a puppet show. So it's a little vague who came first, but it's close. And he's sort of a mystical, magical creature. So in a sense, he's almost invincible. And they did make a spoofy movie, I think in the 60s. I don't even know if it survived. I actually got a poster. It's kind of horrific, but funny at the same time. So I framed it. It's hanging next to the Godzilla pinball machine right now. But the rest of his toys are really cool. And they're in my monster case because where the heck else are you going to put a skull head? And this is going to be no exception. It'll fit in there. Thank God, because it's small. Sometimes I'm starting to appreciate the smaller toys. And this is the tricycle. And I actually won the Batman tricycle at the Heritage Auction. And it had this wonky fake box, but they advertised it as being like sort of a reproduction. I don't even know what it is. It's just the label. But I noticed in Japan, the Batman tricycle in the box, I believe, sold for $14,000, which was crazy. So I guess the Batman version of the trike is really, really rare. The figure looks kind of goofy, but I'll unveil them when I get all those toys. But anyway, this is the box, and it shows his, I guess, villain, his nemesis here. I guess when they were all kids, you know, when they were riding the three-wheelers. I mean, they've used these trikes for so many characters. It's crazy. Even the Marvel characters. And that's the one that I haven't actually bought. Now, this says 1967. I have no reason to dispute that that's the actual date of the toy. So I'm going to go with 1967 as the toy. And then M as a manufacturer. I keep forgetting who M is. It's not Macedonia, but who knows? But it's a cool logo. And here he is on the side here with the kanji saying something that I can't decipher. Kind of looks the same on all angles. They didn't spend a lot of time, but it's a, you know, for what it is, it's sort of a tiny toy. It's a pretty cool box, and it gets the job done. You know, it's graphic enough. It still looks cool, very dynamic. like he's in motion speeding, and I don't know why the villain is pointing at him like, hey man, slow down. slow down. Of course, he got his magic wand. Although on the toy now, as we shift to the toy, he doesn't have any wand. The wand is missing because he's holding on to the handlebars. You know, safety first. The bell now is actually very cool because if you lift up the cape, this is one thing I like about the trikes is that the bells are usually lithographed in the style of the toys. You know, in other words, like whatever character it is, it's going to have lithography that matches the toy. In this case, you have the little bat friend, the M lobe, and look at how cool that is. Him flying around with his cape. Like I said, I think he's invincible, that he can kind of come back from the dead and do all kinds of mystical things. So that is the toy. And the body of the trike, you got tin lithography on the wheels. The wheels are actually all tinny. There's no rubber on here. The wind-up mech is tin. And the plastic is just this part of the body here, the frame. Basically, the bicycle frame is plastic. And then, of course, the figure is kind of like a celluloid figure. So it was, I think, a little bit under the radar. I'm surprised, you know, it wasn't cheap at the auction, but it wasn't as high as I would have expected, considering some of these character toys get crazy money. Now, let's wind it up and see if he actually does anything. Wow, how about that? Let's see here. He's a spooky fella, huh? I'm just going to let you hear the bell because, you know what? I don't have a lot of room to really maneuver this. I always make sure there's no winding left in the spring because, you know what? I don't want to put it on the shelf and then it goes, or on a glass shelf and goes flying off into another toy. But anyway, that is your cool Oghon Bat monsterific tricycle, baby Oghon as I call him. And I would say if you like character toys from Japan, anime stuff from the 60s especially, you know what you can do? You can thumb up the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. And if you like any other thing about the video, you could thumb it up. If you haven't subscribed already, you can even subscribe. That would also be greatly appreciated. So with that, thanks as always for your time, my friends, and I will talk to you later.